Hello, everybody. Here we have a pretty big problem here that involves a clinical trial of 2,185 subjects that are treated with a certain drug, and out of these subjects, 29 reported headaches. Then we have a control group of 1,676 subjects that were given a placebo, and out of these, 26 reported headaches. And we have the proportion of headaches in the treatment group by P sub T and proportion of headaches in the control group by P sub C. And the relative risk is P sub T divided by P sub C. Then we also have this formula that involves the relative risk, okay, which is a pretty big formula. PT, we can say P sub T or just PT. So here we have this formula for the odds ratio. So the relative risk is a measure of the strength of the effect of the drug treatment. Another such measure is the odds ratio. We have this big formula. So PT divided by 1 minus PT all over PC divided by 1 minus PC. All right. And then wants us to find the relative risk and odds ratio for the headache data. All right. So let's see. So the relative risk is PT over PC. All right. Okay, now PT, it says again that this is the proportion of headaches in the control group. I'm sorry, PT is the proportion of headaches in the treatment group. And to get that, we'll just find the probability of getting a headache. All right. So for PT, we have 29 reported headaches out of a total of 2185. And so this is our PT. So this is the probability that the treatment group got a headache. Now let's do the same thing for P sub C. All right. So here we want the probability of getting a headache. So we have 26 on the top there. Over 1676. All right. And the relative risk is PT over PC. So we have PT over PC. So this would be 29 over 2185. And that's divided by PC, which is 26 over 1676. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this on the Desmos calculator. It looks like we get 0.855553597. Okay, let's find the odds ratio. By the way, it says round to 3 decimal places. So this would be 0.856 for the relative risk. All right, now the odds ratio. Okay, so with the odds ratio, we have PT over 1 minus PT. And that's all over PC over 1 minus PC. All right. So this will be, let's see. So PT once again was 29 over 2185. That's over 1 minus 29 over 2185. This is all over, and PC was 26 over 1676. That's all over 1 minus 26 over 1676. Now let's throw all this into decimals. All right, and we get 0.853610675. And we're going to round that to the nearest three decimal places. That'll be 0.854. Okay, now we have this interesting question. What do the results suggest about the risk of a headache from the drug treatment? Okay, now believe it or not, we're not going to use anything from the odds ratio. So everything will be taken from actually, even the relative risk, we're not even going to use either. So all that was done for nothing. So in order to see whether or not we have a risk of headache from the drug treatment, we really want to compare PT with PC, okay? So remember, the PT, that's for the drug treatment, okay? And if the probability for the PT is really higher than the probability for PC, then we have a higher probability to get a headache with the drug treatment than we have with the placebo, okay? Now, if the PC was higher than PT, that means the probability that the headache would be bigger for placebo than the treatment, which means the treatment didn't cause any headaches at all. Okay, in other words, the drug treatment was not dependent on headaches or people getting headaches. Okay, so we only want to see whether or not PT was higher than PC. All right, so let's find out. So let's look at PT and PC. So let's just convert those to decimals directly. Okay. All right. So it looks like this is saying that um, with the treatment group, there's only just a 0.013 probability of getting a headache. All right. And now let's see what we have for the placebo group. Okay, that was 26 over 1676. And we have 0.0155. So this is a bigger probability, which means that it seems like the drug has nothing to do with headaches. All right. So in fact, because the PC, the PC is higher than the PT. Okay. All right. So since PC is higher than PT, then the drug doesn't appear to pose a risk. So this is actually going to be the answer will be C part. Okay. So again, PT was PT again. That was the top one, right? PT. That was the top one. and 0.013 is slightly less than that. So, um, so we'll just say to the nearest 3 decimal places, PT is equal to 0.013, and PC is 0.016 to the nearest 3 decimal places. Okay. And again, notice that PT is slightly less than PC, which means, again, the drug treatment really had no effect on the headache. So that's the answer is C part. Okay. Now, if we got the PT to be greater than PC, then we would say that we have a risk of a headache from the drug treatment. Okay. So in that case, we would have said B part. Okay. So either the answer is going to be the B in this case or the C in this case. Okay, because they both compare the PT with the PC. So again, this is sort of a weird question because they're asking to find something that you don't really use. In other words, you're asking to find the relative risk and the odds ratio, which we didn't really use at all, because in order to answer this last question, it all depends on comparing the PT with the PC.